Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we are taking a look at the new treasure map Robin that we'll be releasing over here on the Japanese side of the game, taking a look at what the character does and looking at my teams that I have put together for you guys to actually take down this particular event. But before we get started, let's take a look at what the character actually does. Her artwork is pretty cool. New Halloween Robin, another treasure map Robin, but look, it is what it is. She is a int unit. Her captain is a cerebral fighter character's attack by 3.75, and after hitting 3 perfects, cerebral and fighter character's attack will be 4 times, and she heals 1000 HP at the end of turn. For her special for 2 turns, deals 10 times the character's recovery at the end of turn. For 1 turn, boost the attack of int, cerebral, and fighter characters by 1.75. When you hit 3 perfects, then for 2 turns, boost the attack of int, cerebral, and fighter characters by 2 times. And when HP is over 50,000 or above, when there are 4 or more enemies on the field and the special is triggered, for 1 turn, nullify all incoming damage. So she has that null damage that Robin is so renowned for, as well as being like a 2-stage attack booster, which is actually pretty decent. So definitely farm her up. She does seem like a pretty good unit. She is cerebral, which is great. She's also int, which is great. Fighters are starting to see a little bit more support, which is nice. So definitely farm up this treasure map Robin. She has 100 recovery and HP to cerebral and fighters, and the crew will treat int orbs as beneficial. She has a stat basing support, which kind of sucks, and she has she has sailor ability seal, so fear, heal block, and incoming side damage. So pretty stock standard stuff when it comes to her limit break, but she is a pretty good unit nonetheless. So I would highly recommend farming her up. So we're going to slide down here now, and we are going to take a look at the boosted list. We do have the new legend Koala, which has 2 times booster. Morley and Karasu are 1.7 times boosters. We have the Boa and Perona characters at a 1.4, as well as the previous treasure map characters that were Oni, Luffy, and Jinbei. We have a bunch of 1.25 boosters, pretty standard stuff with like Yamato and Page 1 ulti, Lucci, the batch that came with Boa and Robin, and some free-to-play characters. And then we've got our 1.25 boosters as well, more 1.25 boosters, which is nice. Make sure to use the Robin when you get a chance to. She's a 1.25 booster, so that's also something to note. Bunch of treasure map characters there, which is really, really cool. We have the Sanji, always being 1.25. Shout out to Global if you guys are summoning for him. And then we have a bunch of 1.2 times boosters as well. But you guys can look at them in-game if you really want to. So we're going to slide over to the treasure map teams now, and we're going to start over here on the Morley stage. Now, with the new treasure map structure, the first stage, you always get 5 turns of cooldown to all your characters. So the recommended characters are Sai, Luffy, and Sai Frankie, mainly because there are 3 turns of defense up on the final stage, so Frankie can get around that. But with the team that you do see on screen, I am going to be using Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci can completely remove the defense up. He's an orb booster, which is great. Sanji's really, really good as a captain, as he can give us the orb and the attack boost at the start of the fight. Because there are only 3 stages as well, that is something to note. So Sanji just got a little bit better when it comes to treasure map as well. But pretty stock standard stuff here. We have an attack boost, we have an orb boost. We can remove the defense up with Lucci, and with that, we shouldn't have any problems against Morley. So basically, just bring someone to remove defense up, and you will be hunky-dory. Moving on to the next fight, we come up against Sai Karasu. The recommended characters are Kazuna Olin, Arena Crocodile, and treasure map int Luffy. You really just need Olin for this. This Olin, like, she just basically just gets around to everything for you. You get 5 turns of cooldown for Dex, Sai, and int characters. On stage 3, you get a full board of block orbs. You get your orbs locked. Special bind to your non-captains for 4 turns, and makes all color orbs count as badly matching for 3 turns. 90% damage reduction for 4 turns, and there is delay immunity. So this Olin basically removes everything. She changes block orbs into Semler slots. She removes the special blind, she removes the damage reduction, and because you have Semler slots, you don't have to worry about the colored orbs being unfavorable as well. The Croc and the Luffy you can use on this team, but like, you just don't need them. So I'm using Yamato as my captain, but you can easily use the Big Mom. She's very, very good. She has quite a decent captain ability too. And then just sort of fill the rest of the team out with a whole bunch of int characters or a whole bunch of other boosters that are going to do well for you guys. I'm using Page 1 ulti here for their conditional. With the Mr. 3 support, they should be able to get their cooldowns anyway. That Mr. 3 support is just going to see so much play moving forward. But as long as you have this Olin, the free-to-play Kazuna 5+ Olin, you will be absolutely fine for this particular fight. If you don't have her, it might be a little bit tricky and you might need to look at some other ways to get around these debuffs. But she's going to be your go-to, so make sure to use her. Moving on to the next fight now, we come up against Sai Sabo. And against Sai Sabo, Perona and Halloween Shirahoshi are the boosted units for this particular fight. You get 5 turns of cooldown for your shooters, free spirits, and cerebral characters. And on the final stage, you get a full board of empty, block, or bomb orbs, 5 turns of paralysis, 5 turns of 0.1 times chain coefficient, 5 turns of burn, and there is a 2 hits perfect barrier for 5 turns. So Shirahoshi's great here, because Shirahoshi can remove basically all those debuffs besides the chain coefficient. So she removes the burn and she removes the paralysis. She's also going to rotate some orbs as well, which is really nice. She also has color affinity too, which is great. And then using Perona or bringing a friend Perona is going to help you get around the rest. She gives you a chain lock, so you don't have to worry about the chain coefficient. She's going to remove those empty and block and bomb orbs. And she also has barrier pen, which means that you're just going to like destroy Mr. Sabo through that barrier anyway. Don't really worry about the burn too much. Like, if you want to bring someone to get around the burn, you can. But the rest of this sort of team is just sort of filled out with like 1.25 and 1.35 times boosters. So just be mindful of that as well. The Croc's really good here because like he can remove the chain coefficient reduction if you want to. But look, he's a 1.35 booster. I just didn't really want to put him on the other team, and he just works better on this Sabo team. So it is what it is. But this is the particular team that I'll be using to take down Sabo. Moving on to Strength Koala now. Strength Koala, the recommended characters are the new Halloween Bonnie and the 6-star Halloween Mihawk. On stage 1, your fighters, strikers, and free spirits get cooldown. And then on stage 3, you get Despair on your captains, Bind in the middle row for 5 turns, Special Bind on the bottom row for 5 turns, and then you get Attack Down for 5 turns as well, plus Delay Immunity. So bringing the Boa is great, especially as a captain. So if you don't have Boa, bring a friend Boa. She's going to remove the Special Bind and the Attack Down with her special, which is awesome. And then if you have this Bonnie, she can remove the Bind and the Despair. Now, just be mindful of the Bind and the Despair is only going to be 2 turns because of sockets. So you could easily bring like a support to get around that. Like, that shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. I think you can actually use the Onami support on Brook here. Yeah, you can actually use this Nami support on Brook. So like, that's another option for you guys. The Valentine's Nami, sorry, not Onami. So that way you can actually put Brook down the bottom here, use Boa to remove the special binds, and then you can use the Brook to remove the rest of the stuff there if you don't have that Bonnie. But like I said, if you just bring a friend Boa for this particular fight, you are going to be in good stead. I do imagine you can do something with like Vivi as your captain as well. She can remove special bind. So there is that option for you as well, provided the Despair doesn't kick in first. So we will have to sort of do some testing with that once we do our playthrough video, and have a look what that actually looks like when it comes around. Onto the boss stages now, onto the big ones. This is where you get most of your points, and lucky for me, obviously I do have the new Koala, but if you do bring a friend Koala, it's going to make this very, very easy. The boss is against Quick Robin. The recommended characters are Koala, the Rare Recruit Karasu, Morley, the Dex Jimba, and the event free-to-play Brook. On stage 1, you get 8 turns of cooldown reduction to Quick, Dex, and Int characters. On stage 2, you get a full board of Block Orbs, 5 turns of Paralysis, 1.1 times Chain Multiplier for 5 turns, and then you get Delay Immunity. So the Morley on this, sorry, not Morley, the Karasu on this particular stage basically just like takes care of all of that, which is really, really nice. He rotates Block Orbs, he removes Paralysis, and he removes Chain Lock. So he's very, very good. I need to change my shit here. And if you didn't pull this Morley, it may be a little bit of a struggle, especially because there are so many debuffs that this particular stage does. And the Morley and the Karasu actually remove so much that it works. They just work really, really nicely. What you can do is just bring someone to remove Paralysis. That's going to be the big one. Trying to find someone to remove the Block Orbs may be a little bit tricky, but you can use this Oni Luffy as well. This Oni Luffy is going to remove the Block Orbs for you. So just be mindful of that. You can easily use him on that particular stage, or you can just try and burst through it as well, depending on like what level you're at as well. On stage 3, you get a full board of badly matching orbs. You get special rewinded in your middle row by 10 turns, and you get chain coefficient reduction by 0.1. There is delay immunity, and then there's a 90% damage reduction for 5 turns. So your middle row is going to get special rewinded by 10 turns. So just be mindful of that. And if you bring like Koala as your captain, it's really not going to matter. So that's why if you bring a friend captain Koala, it should be fine. But if you just put the characters, say for example you need to use the Luffy on that previous stage, you can easily just put Luffy there. And that way, like, you don't have to worry about the special rewinders. You're not going to have a character that needs a special. The Morley on the last stage is great because he can change all badly matching orbs into favorable orbs. But with Koala as your captain, she's actually going to make like matching orbs for us as well. So you're going to have orbs on your Dex characters anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But Stussy's great because she can remove the 5 turns of damage reduction. So that's the team I'm going to be using against Robin. It should work fairly well. I don't see it having too many issues. But lucky for me, I do have Koala, obviously, and Karasu. But there should be a way to replace them. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys do find a way to replace that Karasu especially. Moving on to the Intrusion against Nami now. These two are the ones that you want to sort of put your big time boosters on, and then the rest of the teams you just sort of want to like fill out with like fast characters or just easy ways to actually grind the content. As like the event goes on, be sure to check out streams. Be sure to hit that bell notification for more videos as well, as that way you guys might see like how these teams have changed just to make those mini bosses a little bit quicker. But onto the final stage, we come up against Halloween Nami. She is a quick unit, And the recommended characters are Koala, Karasu, Morley, Jinbei, and free-to-play Brook once again. On stage 1, you get 8 turns of cooldown for your quick, dex, and in characters. On stage 2, you get 5 turns of despair. All orbs into badly matching orbs converts healing damage into damage for 10 turns. And on defeat, cuts the crew's HP by 80%. So this is where Koala's great because she can remove the healing damage debuff for 10 turns. So try and bring a friend Koala if you can. She's the highest point booster, so this is the time to be using her. You get 5 turns of despair, which will go down to 2 with sockets. So we are using Oni Luffy with the support of Rayleigh for that as well. Rayleigh's going to remove 2 turns, which is really, really nice. But if you do have the Morley, obviously you can just use him as well. He's going to rotate your orbs as well. On stage 3, we come up against the Nami herself. She's going to give us a full board of block orbs. She binds our captains for 5 turns. She sets the chain multiplier to 1.1 for 5 turns. She puts up 5 turns of damage threshold, and then she does a random action. So we're not 100% sure what that random action is. I do imagine it's probably like some sort of barrier or something of some kind. But I guess we'll have to wait and see when the actual content drops. But again, Karasu's really good here. He can change the block orbs. He removes the bind. He removes the chain lock as well, which is super good. But what you can do is you can use something like Boa or Perona on stage 2 to get the chain lock and avoid the chain lock if you are missing Karasu. So there is that as well, especially Perona. Perona's going to be really good for that particular thing because she's going to give 3 turns of a chain lock. But for me, I'm going to remove that if I use Karasu, so I'm going to be using Boa. But like I said, you can easily use Perona as well. Jinbei's great because he can just like rotate all of his orbs into his orb, which Koala obviously makes matching with her captain ability, which is going to work really, really nicely. And yeah, then you have a bunch of damage with the attack boost of Luffy, rotating those block orbs if you don't have the Karasu as well. So that's going to work really, really well. They're going to be my teams for this particular treasure map. Sorry, this video is a little bit rushed. My head's a little bit all over the place with some personal stuff going on in the real world. So I did want to get this video out to you guys to show you guys what the actual boss fights do and sort of what teams I'll be using. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to go down there and smash the like button for me if you're new to the channel. Hit the big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later!